Anger over mask orders boils over. Douglas County Republicans apologize for a racist comparison between black deaths at the hands of police and being asked to wear a mask. I'll have a word about politicians punting the problem of mask orders to everyday Coloradans just trying to do their jobs. Your next question is about COVID-19 hospital capacity and a way to measure it that we haven't discussed in a while. Crowdsourcing camping sites for people who are homeless in Denver. Greenwood Village takes down the barricades to welcome a pro-police parade. And we found the mystery man so many have seen, and he explains when his life started to go downhill. That's next. We're going to take you straight away out to a live briefing now in Jefferson County, where there's a wildfire 3 miles west of Evergreen that has caused the evacuation of about 700 homes. Let's listen in.
Part of our district, trees, more of a forest area. So we're concerned. We're trying to jump on it before the weather comes in. We are expecting a shift in the wind. We are expecting unfortunately, some storms to come in. That hopefully may help us, but we're not 100% sure.
How could storms hurt?
Storms could hurt because of the erratic winds. There could be lightning. There could be a lot of things that could hurt our firefighters.
And how come and what kind of equipment do we have on you?
We've got engines, we've got tenders, which are large vehicles to carry water for us. We have boots on the ground. But right now, because of its location and because it's in the rocks, we do have air resources. We've got 3 helicopters on scene, along with some other heavy, larger aircrafts that are coming in.
How close is this to structures?
We're working on structure protection right now. We've done some evacuations. I'll let Jenny speak to that in a moment. But we've got crews in place and evacuations happening.
Have any homes been burned yet?
No homes yet been burned, no injuries reported.
Have we learned anything about what might have caused this fire?
Not at this point in time. It's too early to tell about what may have caused this fire. I'm sure we'll do a full investigation once we get things contained and controlled.
You guys were going door to door asking people to evacuate. Has everyone evacuated?
We're working on that. I'll let Jenny speak to that.
When we've been out here today, it's been pretty windy. Has that been a challenge as far as fighting the fire?
Absolutely. Winds are one of our biggest problems, right? It pushes the fire, especially through the treetops. So we're a little concerned about that. Right now, the winds have settled down. I'm very happy about that. That will help with some of our drops that we're about to have.
How large of flames have we seen today?
You know, they're in the treetops, so pretty high, right? And it's also on a steep slope, so it kind of looks worse than what it is, but it's still very bad, and we are very concerned.
I know there are a lot of homeowners who have houses in the evacuation zone, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second, but what would you say from a firefighting standpoint to people who are worried about their homes?
Absolutely. If you're worried about your home, get ready to leave then, right? Grab some of your important papers, your medicines. Get ready to pre-evacuate. We want you to get ready to go. We can work with you on large animals and small animals. Jenny?
Jenny Fulton with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. So we have had 3 separate evacuation notices go out. The first one included about 250 homes. Then the second one raised that number up to 700 homes. And now I don't have a final number of total evacs at this point, but we are evacuated from Upper Bear Creek Road, south to Brook Forest Road, east to Highway 73. So that's probably well over 1,000 homes in that area. We are telling people if they have large animals and they need assistance to please contact animal control. We have animal control that can help remove those animals. If they have smaller animals, they're smaller pets, they can take them to the evacuation centers. We have 2 evacuation centers. One is at King Murphy Elementary School and the other is at Evergreen Middle School.
Are there any challenges in reaching that amount of homes in such a rocky area that she was saying and sort of spread out area?
So the way that we notify people is we do go door to door, but we also send notifications, and we always encourage people to sign up for code red notifications. We use reverse 911 for landlines. If you still have a landline and you live in the evac center, you will get a call at your home. But we also encourage people to go online, sign up for code red notifications. They can get emails, they can get cell phone notifications, and they can get additional landline notifications if their business is in this area, etc. So again, if you live in Jefferson County or probably any county in the state, you can sign up for emergency notifications in your jurisdiction, and we highly encourage people to do that for reasons such as this.
Open spaces will
Smart reminder for everybody from the folks in Jefferson County who are currently fighting a wildfire which is burning off of Upper Bear Creek Road. At last size update, it was 30 to 40 acres. You heard them discuss how the prominence of the terrain in that area might make the fire seem larger than it is. This is a fire that's being fought both on the ground and from the air. The evacuation area, as you heard them mention, has been expanded twice now expected to include upwards of 1,000 homes. Upper Bear Creek Road, south to Buffalo Park Road, and east to Highway 73. Pardon me, one correction on that. Upper Bear Creek Road, south to Brook Forest, and then east to 73. I think you briefly saw the evacuation area there. We're going to continue to keep you updated on the situation of this fire that's burning 3 miles west of Evergreen. Firefight that's going to continue into the night there. There are evacuation centers set up for residents at King Murphy Elementary, on Circle K Ranch Road, as well as Evergreen Middle School on Highland Drive. As always, in a situation like this, if somebody has large animals they need to get out, those can go to the county fairgrounds, and pets can be evacuated to the Foothills Animal Shelter as well. But this is a situation that is only escalated since that fire first came in to dispatchers this afternoon. Nothing yet in terms of a cause, but on a hot, dry day, we know how things can run. We'll keep you updated on that fire that's burning west of Evergreen. Anger about mask orders these days is getting uglier. So you've got the governor who is talking even more pointedly about the people who refuse to wear a mask for their health and the health of others. And then now, the Douglas County Republican Party, which posted a racist comparison between being voluntarily asked to wear a mask and the death of George Floyd beneath the knee of a police officer. It is pretty ugly stuff from anybody, let alone a county party. Our Steve Stager has been following this, and Steve, that racist post drew condemnation from left and right.
Yeah, Kyle, prominent Republican elected leaders in Douglas County say that image posted and deleted over the weekend is reprehensible. The sheriff even went so far as to suggest the leadership of the county Republican Party should resign over this. The cartoon shows a police officer standing on someone's neck using their baton to hold onto a mask. The version included the governor's name along the officer's boot, and it also included the caption, "We can't breathe." It was flagged by Denver Public School Board member and activist Tay Anderson, and about an hour ago we got a statement from the county party apologizing, quote, to anyone who was offended by the post and promising a review of editorial policies on that page. Anger boiling over. And we saw the anger on the other side of the mask debate this weekend from Democratic Governor Jared Polis, who's trying to convince people to wear masks. This weekend on his Facebook page, he posted about research about the effectiveness of masks and then called on anyone who refused to wear them. He called them selfish bastards. We asked about those strong words today. His office responded saying, "Nothing is off the table." It would seem that we've reached a boiling point over masks right now. 9 News psychologist Dr. Max Wachtel says the anger some folks feel, no matter what side they fall on, has a lot to do with the situation we've been in for nearly 6 months.
I think people are under so much more stress now. This is hard. It's scary. You don't know what to believe. You don't know if your kids are going back to school. You don't know if you're going to lose your job. Information changes from day to day. The science, the understanding changes from day to day. All of that is really hard.
But when it comes to making people wear masks statewide, the governor's office told me today that the governor is considering all policy options. I feel like we've heard that before, so we will see where that goes, Kyle.
Yeah. Ain't no apology like a sorry if anyone was offended apology, because a sorry if anyone was offended apology don't count. All right. Thank you, Steve. Much appreciated.
Yes.
So we hear politicians justify this idea of not mandating masks. They'll say, well, people are voluntarily complying, or that'll just make people angry. Let's be real honest. People are not complying with the mask orders right now, and the anti-maskers are plenty mad already. But it's not politicians that have to bear the brunt of that anger, though. It's the grocery store employees, it's the retail clerks, it's the receptionists and such. They are the ones who are getting berated by people who seem to believe that patriotism entails screaming at somebody inside their own private business about their rules. Now, I'm reading anything that I can find these days about the efficacy of mask mandates versus voluntary mask orders. And based on what I've read, it's not clear which one gets the job done better. But I guess I just wish that when politicians decide to punt on mask orders, that they would acknowledge publicly that what they're doing is they're shifting the burden onto Coloradans who are just trying to do their jobs. They are the ones who have to have the confrontations and the hard discussions and go face to face with the twin viruses of COVID-19 and selfishness. Colorado continues to process its COVID-19 tests at a really good clip compared to weeks past. More than 7,500 tests yesterday. State's been averaging over 6,000 a day since the end of June. 329 new cases of COVID confirmed in the state yesterday. 7-day average of new cases per day is at 426. We're testing more, so you're gonna find more. That's the reason why we look at two other key measures. You want the positivity rate below 5%, and the 7-day average on positivity continues to stay below that mark. That's encouraging. Then there's hospitalizations. That's how we sort out the most serious cases. 220 people are currently hospitalized with COVID-19 in our state. We've stayed steady at that number for 2 days now. 31 patients have been discharged or transferred in the last 24 hours. Our next question comes from a viewer named Josh. Curious about COVID-19 hospital capacity, Josh asks, what exactly is the difference between an ICU bed and a regular one? And he wonders whether our convention center field hospital means we're better off than other states. Josh, that's a good question. The Colorado Hospital Association says the difference between a regular bed and an ICU bed is equipment and staffing and procedures. Ventilators, and the people know how to operate them. You typically find those in the ICU, but hospitals tell us that as long as you have the equipment and the trained staff, any bed can become an ICU bed. The Colorado Hospital Association also tells us that based on the current forecast from the state, they are pretty confident that they would have enough ICU beds if there is a second spike. We do have that convention center field hospital, scaled down and empty. That's for people who have gone through the worst of it but are not yet ready to go home. And Colorado's hospitals also have a plan in which they are going to take recovering patients out to rural hospitals to take the pressure off the city hospitals. Greenwood Village City Hall emerged from behind barricades over the weekend. Those barricades designed to keep high school Black Lives Matter protesters at bay. Greenwood Village took down the barricades and welcomed a pro-police parade. Saturday, the streets around the City Hall were opened up as people drove by to honk their support for Greenwood Village PD. City posted a video to its Facebook page today. Very different reception for that form of free speech than what the free speech on Thursday got when the city blocked off routes to City Hall, put up barricades, and even used a snowplow to block the way of high schoolers organizing a protest of a city council resolution to shield members of the Greenwood Village Police Department from the new statewide police reform bill. Now we got him! Days of sleuthing to find the mysterious Mount Falcon unicycler. Just took the right person knowing we were looking for Colorado's most balanced man. And it's a sign that half the next team can be reduced to tears by a bag of tennis balls. Next. There's a discussion in Denver these days about where in the city might be appropriate places to set up fairly large campsites for people who are homeless. I told you last week that Denver Mayor Michael Hancock decided to send letters to the 8 city council people who were in support of this idea, asking them where in their own backyard, their districts, they wanted the site. Councilwoman Candy Sabaka has decided to crowdsource the answer from her district, put up a Google Doc online asking people for answers. They're asking for input by Wednesday for that council district. These sites could have up to 50 tents apiece.
Today makes day 12 in a row in the 90s here in Denver, but finally our July sizzle coming to an end as we have cooler air off to the northwest that makes its move into the state overnight into tomorrow. Tonight we really are keeping an eye to the sky across the eastern plains. A severe thunderstorm watch until 11, a lot of lightning and some really gusty winds, 70 to 80 miles per hour. Storms move out. We're left with partly cloudy skies, 60s out east with 40s and 50s up in the mountains. Futurecast taking these storms out of here by about 11 o'clock, and tomorrow morning a dry beginning, but 4 or 5 o'clock, here we go again. Thunderstorms once again firing up, and we do have a chance for seeing a couple of those turn severe in southeastern Colorado tomorrow afternoon. I told you we're cooling off. How about 84? Sounds like a dream. 70s in Julesburg and Akron with 70s and 80s up in the mountains. The heat's on as we head toward the weekend. The 90s are back.
Quick word of thanks from me to you tonight for your generous support of Denver's new STAR pilot program. This is the deal that allows 911 dispatchers with their discretion to send out a mental health professional and a paramedic on a mental health call rather than sending an armed officer. The police are in on it and support it, so do the mental health pros, and now we know $5 at a time you gave them $40,000 to beef up their pilot program and show that this system can work in Colorado. I'll be back on Wednesday with our next idea for our micro-giving group project. We did it. We solved one of the great enduring mysteries of all of Next. At least 3 days worth. Remember that unidentified guy who was ripping down Mount Falcon on a unicycle? And we had lots of questions about that. We found him, thanks to one of his family members who happened to see the video on our Twitter page. Photojournalist Chris Hansen introduces us to Gary Street.
I like exercise, and I like to do something that's fun. I don't like working out on a machine in the basement. My wife and I were walking by a bicycle shop over 30 years ago. I happened to see a unicycle in the window, and I said, I wonder if I could ride one of those. And, well, the next Christmas, there was a unicycle under the Christmas tree. My friends and I ski the bumps, or at least we used to a lot. And 15 years ago I read about a ski coach that had his skiers cross-training on mountain unicycles in the summer, and I've been doing it ever since. Oh, weird looks, shocked looks, laughter. You start off by just holding yourself against the wall and trying to keep yourself up on the thing. That's how awkward it is at first. It's a lot easier than people think.
How old are you?
76. An old fool, yeah, because I'm old and my wife's always telling me I'm a fool. I've probably had 100 stitches or so, and some chipped teeth, and probably the worst thing was the broken rib, just because they're so painful. But nothing serious.
How would you say you live life?
You mean, do I do a lot of stupid things?
And now we solve the mystery. It's a sign that is going to make your home and mine real dusty all of a sudden. Next. It's a sign that a very good boy would appreciate the very good legacy he left behind. Cole is no longer with us, and his humans decided to leave a bag of tennis balls at the Rail Yard Dog Park in his honor, probably his favorite place. The note on the bag says, "Please take a ball in honor of the dog who believed that there were never enough balls to go around." Our producer Erin was at the Rail Yard on Sunday, snapped the photos. Her dog Pippin absolutely appreciated Cole's sweet gift. Finish with your feedback on the idea of masks and who bears the brunt of not having them mandated. A note says not wearing a mask is a personal choice and only petty tyrants will shame normal people for not cooperating. That one came in unsigned. Jan did have the courage to sign her name to her note saying thank you for being a champion for us grocery store workers concerning the wearing of masks. We'll see you next time.